Hello, I am Harry from the Chabotcast, and this is the fourth episode of a series going through all of the costume pieces and variations for each Doctor. As always, there is room for human error, so if you found anything that I've missed, do get in touch or comment below. Today I will be going through the third Doctor, John Pertwee's second season, that's season 8. And all the costume pieces from that season, spanning from Day of the Daleks through to the Daemons. In this season we see a slight change up in costume, more of colour than of actual styling. We still maintain the velvet jacket and inverness cape with ruffle shirt combo. Now there is a version of this costume available from Hello Cosplay, I believe it is, and it is a relatively accurate replica set. There's a few things off with it, but it will more than do the job well for anyone who wants to cosplay this version of the outfit. The first new thing about the series is the notable change in colour of the jacket. Now it was a midnight blue jacket initially in season 7, and that jacket is still utilised in this season, but there is also the addition of this new maroon coloured velvet smoking jacket, and this one is slightly different in multiple ways. It has 2 frog fastenings now. It has angled pockets rather than straight pockets, and also the binding around the cuff does not feature the same frog pattern from the frog fastenings, but is just a straight line around the cuff. It still features, however, a shawl lapel and a similar cut as well to the first jacket. The lining is now purple to match with the new inverness cape that features in this story, as can be seen here by the John Pertwee's left hand, which is the hand closest to Joe. And overall, it is just a nice new rendition of the previous jacket that was seen. Very suave, very smooth. Now this... not the specific jacket, but versions that are similar are available on eBay for a sort of medium price point, where ranging from anything from around 70 quid to about 150. But you can find ones with two frog fastenings which are red. But then if you want to go a step further, there is a very similar replica available from eBay, which is actually listed as a Doctor Who style velvet jacket. Bit more expensive, but it does do the job very well. But then if you want to go full on, then Baron Boutique do an exquisite replica where the colour matching is very good. You also get the wooden toggles, which do up the frog fastenings. You get the angled pockets, and it's made bespoke fit. It's a slightly higher price point, but it was, in my opinion, definitely worth it. Now we move on to the new inverness cape that comes along to go with this jacket. The inverness cape is black with a purple lining and frog fastenings. Now the frog fastenings on this are just simple 3-loop frog fastenings. There is a slight change in frog fastenings used on the inverness cape, but that comes in series 9, so I won't be touching on that now. Now, on this cape, the difference apart from the lining is that the lining now reaches to the lapels of the cape. You can see that on the right picture here. However, in the cape from the first season, the red lining did not go to the lapels and was just on the inside of the actual cape. This cape still features the velvet collar, and there are 5 frog fastenings on this, although you never do the top one up as is tradition. Now, a cheap replica of this is available on eBay. Well, cheap, it's not too cheap, but it's the cheapest you're going to get. But I would advise against buying this, as I have personally bought this one, and it is not of high quality at all, or any quality really. The fabric is tacky and it is just not right. Now the Hello Cosplay replica is actually quite good. I have not personally got it, but it looks very good, and I've heard good reviews about it from fellow cosplayers. So this would be still a relatively inexpensive version. You can also go to the place that I mentioned in my previous video to get an Inverness cape. So go ahead and check that video out if you want to see a good seller on Etsy who makes Inverness capes, and you can just ask him to do one with a purple lining and to add frog fastenings onto it. Yes, also just thought I'd put this in. It is a good photo of the cape from the first season, the red Inverness cape. Well, red lined. Now, there are two main ruffle shirts in this season. A bit more easy to tell the difference this time, as opposed to the very minute differences in the season 7 ruffle shirt change. Here is the Mark 1, which is seen in Terror of the Autons and the Daemons. It is a zip-fronted ruffle shirt made with a embossed fabric with a line pattern going down. The same fabric is used for the ruffle as for the shirt. It has quite a long collar, and also has a button strap to tie up the collar, as the zip doesn't go all the way up. That can be seen here, as you can see the piece of fabric behind the paisley cravat. Here is another picture of the zip up close, the zip fastening. Now, there are a few replicas of this specific shirt available, the first being from Hello Cosplay, but unfortunately, wait, actually, is it Cosdaddy, Hello Cosplay? I can't remember. It's one of those cosplay sites, but they all pretty much do the same thing. This one, though, is inaccurate in that it doesn't have the embossed fabric. The rest of it, however, is quite a good likeness, so it will definitely do the job, especially for the relatively cheap price point it's being sold at. However, your other option is Replica Wardrobe, which is a seller on Etsy, which do good Doctor Who shirt replicas and some of the waistcoats as well. This one does have embossed fabric. It's not quite the right pattern, but it is a better replica than the previous one. However, the price difference between the two may put some people off, but it is definitely more accurate than the first one. So, now we move on to the second ruffle shirt. There are a few differences. Firstly, the type of embossing that is on this ruffle shirt is different. The first one had just plain thin stripes and thick stripes. This one, however, seems to have a checked pattern intercut with 3 thin strips, as can be seen here and here. This one also appears to have a metal zip rather than a zip matching the same colour of the shirt in the previous one. It does, however, still have the strap to do up the collar, but the main difference is the width between the centre with the zip in and the actual ruffle. There is, I'd say, a 2-inch thickness between the two, or 1.5 inch thickness between the centre and the ruffle, as opposed to 1/2 inch, say, distance on the first one. You can see a good close-up of the strap here, at the top centre of the image, but there are definitely noticeable differences between the two shirts. This one you can also see from these two images cuts off at the bottom, so the fastening cuts off at the bottom, so it doesn't go all the way down the shirt. But yes, so it would be something that you would put on and then fasten up. Here are some other close images of the cuff, and here is a good close-up of the pattern, and you can see the sort of cross-hatching interweaved with the lines. And here are some good, more close-up images. There's a lot more than there was on season 7. Now, another new addition that you see in this series comes in Colony in Space, which is the boots that the Doctor wears. These seem like ordinary leather biker boots, which are expensive to find but relatively easy to source. Here is a seller on Etsy who does good versions of the boots. This seller also does good replica versions of Tom Baker's boots seen in season 17 and 16 and 18. Now we move on to the gloves. These are just the same driving gloves that are seen in season 7. Well, the same style. They might not be the exact same, but they're still the same style, so go back to that video just to see where you can get those from. Now we move on to one of the last things that is new with this costume, well, this season, which is the cravat, which is seen in the Daemons. It is a paisley cravat, very colourful, very nice. There's not many good photos of it, but these are some of the best that I could find. Your best bet is probably to go on Etsy or eBay and just type in paisley cravat and then try and get one with the same colour scheme and match it as close as you can. It should be noted in this season that the only story that features a cravat is the Daemons, unlike season 7 where a necktie featured on the costume at all times. The neck is pretty much bare on all the costumes apart from in the Daemons. So that has concluded this episode. It was a lot shorter than the previous ones, but that's because season 8 has less to go through. I would like to that was a comprehensive season 8 costume guide by me, Harry from the Chabotcast. I'd like to give a special thanks to the Facebook group Doctor Who Photo Research, and yes, they were very helpful for their high resolution images. If any of you have any questions or anything to say, comment down below or contact me on chabotcast@gmail.com. I hope you enjoyed this video, and I shall be doing more covering the history of the rest of the classic Doctor Who costumes. So until next time, please like, comment and subscribe, and I will see you then. Cheers.